Okay, this is seriously the easiest way to make a cute little mountain painting. Anyone can do this. So the first thing you're going to want to do is pick a sky color, then pick another color to blend that into, then carve out your mountains with some black, then add a little lake right below your mountains. After you're done that, take a palette knife with some blue and scrape over half of the mountains. You can also use an old gift card for this. Then do the same thing with pink on the other side of the mountains. You can also add some white for some snow. After you're done that, take some green and put it on either side of the lake, some trees in your foreground and any other details you want, and then that's it.
Welcome to the Dungeon Master's Diary. This is a tutorial on mountains. We're going to start by drawing a pyramid shape with an A, B, and C axes. On the B side, I'm going to be drawing a gentle lightning bolt shape. On the A side, I'm going to mirror that. Where the C axis is, I'm going to be creating a gentle but peaked lightning bolt shape, and from those acute points or peaks, I'm going to be pulling lines down parallel to the B or A axes. This is going to hint at the third dimension. From here, adding little hash marks and lines will add detail, and before long, you've done it. You've drawn a mountain. Congratulations. Go ahead and hit that follow button if you made it this far.
How to draw mountains with markers. We can simplify its form as a pyramid. Keep these basic elements of shading in mind. Use a pencil to sketch a couple triangles first, then draw an irregular line from the peak to the bottom. Try to avoid making it too repetitive. Start it with the lightest shade of gray you have. Use gradient strokes to shade the shadow side first. Move your markers from the ridge to the center of the plane. The area close to the ridge will be darker than the reflected light area. Add a light yellow color on the top to make interesting lighting. Use a second shade of gray to repeat previous steps to gradually add mid-tone and core shadow. Simply draw these marks here to make the surface look rugged. Use a third shade of gray to darken the ridge and edges in the shadow area. Add a more darker value to increase the contrast. Use a pen to further define the shape of the mountain and do some hatching to add the texture. Use a pastel color to add the undertone. Lastly, add the highlight. The full tutorial is on my
You need a vacation. Let's draw you one.
Even if you don't draw, you can draw this. Step 1 is drawing horizontal lines, drawing one main one and then a few off of the side like so. Step 2 is drawing squiggly lines down and drawing some little dots off the end like rocks. Half circle for the sun and then a C shape for your inner cove. Be sure to drop a follow for creative art videos. There's another video about how I draw these monstera leaves, so that's why I'm not explaining it right now. Just doing my plug instead. Follow along. These little palm trees are easy to draw. Start with one trunk and then 5 or 6 arches off the top of each one. The thing that makes most pieces really come together is just a little bit of shading. Thanks for going on a mini vacation with me. Enjoy your scroll.
How to draw a tree. Okay, that's a very wholesome suggestion I got there. Let's get started. Now, trees are actually super easy to draw. A basic tree, pretty much just draw 2 lines just like this. Draw some wobbly lines that come outward, kind of like in random directions. Then on top, you can add any shape you want. I'm gonna go with a circle. When you're done, just add a whole bunch of messed up, jagged, ugly, crazy lines and just follow the shape of the circle. You can add little grooves in the tree to give it some more detail. Be like a stub where a tree branch used to be at. Add some quick shading across it. And boom, you got a simple looking tree right here. A cool trick you can do is just do these little, tree stumps. Now let's add like a really random, like crazy shape that I've never seen before. The same crazy lines. Another cool looking tree right here. You get really good, you can start bending the stump around, making these cool looking trees. Make sure that the base is always thicker, okay? Draw some weird branches coming off like that. Those same bushy spots everywhere. The best tip with drawing nature is to be as messy as possible. And boom, you got some cool looking trees, all right? Just be free.
Whether or not you call yourself an artist, you can draw these cute little nature scenes. Crazy, we're going sideways in the journal. Better toss in some frames. You got this, let's draw together. To draw mountains, start with a pointy line that just goes across your page. To draw the ridge lines, draw down from those points and then stack that up. To draw ocean bluffs, start with a squiggle. Draw some lines down, they don't have to touch the bottom of the page unless you want them to. And then lines out from those bluffs, like this. When you get to the top bluff, just draw a little half circle for the sunset and add a palm tree. If you follow my account, you'll be an artist in no time. Now time to reveal the mystery. The last one is for a desert. You can make little square mountains to make a mesa desert and add little cactus.
So drawing a tree is actually pretty simple. You start out with a cross shape right here. You want to draw a line going all the way down to where the bottom of your tree is. From there, you start adding these lines, have them kind of swoop down a little bit because these are going to be your branches to your pine tree. After you have that down, what you have to do is just add the details, which is really easy. For me, I like the droopy pine trees, almost like there's moss weighing down the branches, and so you just do that all of the way down. Now you have your tree, and if it looks a little bit two-dimensional, start adding branches in the front and the back. And congratulations, now you learned how to draw trees, and what you can do from here is start to duplicate them and make an entire forest. And there you have it, a little forest going on here. We got a little Bob Ross cabin, kind of a mushroom world in the back. That's what you can do in about 20 minutes once you learn how to draw trees.
I'm gonna try something today. An updated cloud tutorial. I'm kind of iconic for that stuff, so let's get into it. I'm gonna use this color. This is the hexadecimal. Now for the clouds, I'm going to be using Watercolor Max Pack and this brush. If you don't have that, go to paintings and try gouache, or anything that looks like this. Nice. So with big brush marks, I'm just gonna be doing some random cloud shapes. Something like this. Now go over it again, but like kind of keep an outline. And just keep doing that for texture and layering. Use circular motion to imitate a cloud shape. Use some dark blues in some places to enhance the effect. Start smudging with the smudge tool and just go over it a little bit. Add effect clipping mask and add a light pink color. Just at the edges and in other places. Blend it. Add a layer under the cloud layer. Add just a little bit of pink. Gaussian blur. Boom, you're done. Hope this tutorial helped and I hope I improved.
So you want to first kind of map out the general area that your cloud will be in, and then from there, make a giant curved line like this. Woo! And then from there, you're gonna move up just a little bit at the end of your line, and then make another little mark there, and then do the same thing, just a little smaller. Woo! So now you just keep on doing that same thing. As you do this, they should be getting smaller and smaller and more flat as you go. Alright, so once it's looking pretty flat at the end, what you want to do is you want to cut it off right here, right? You just go whoosh. Now you move on to the second half. Now you're going to want to do the same thing that we just did on this side on that side of the cloud. Just make sure when you get down to the flat part on this side that it's even with the side that we just cut off. Alright, now that that side is flattened out, we're going to cut this off. Whoosh. And now we just connect the two. And then from there you could add some more curvy lines for depth. And then from there you could just start shading. I tend to shade like this, but feel free to shade however you like to do it. So there are many ways to draw clouds and many ways to shade them. And I think the best way to learn how to draw clouds or really anything is through trial and error. So don't expect them to look great the first time around. But if you continue to analyze where you can improve and what you did successfully, you should have some decent looking clouds within a few tries. Clouds really do have their own vibe in my opinion. Sometimes I could look at a cloud and get transported into a different world where the cloud fits nicely within the scene that's in my head. I think clouds are great not only to show scale, but also in the way that they can be used in any way when looking at it with your imagination. As a kid, clouds could be anything you could see in it, and to this day, I still find myself seeing beyond the clouds when I'm drawing them within my own pieces.